forgot it. It's over here somewhere. Hey everybody, this is Kevin Rice, and this is TASA, the Academy of Spiritual Awakening. And I assume that we are run. Here you go. And there you go. All right, I'm going to bring, we're going to do something new here. Every week we are thinking outside of the box. And so I'm going to bring, I guess, Susan Stone here. There she is. There, I invited him, and I think we can do a split screen here with her.
We're going to try. Anyway.
We're going to try. In the meantime, say hello to our Facebook friends as well. Hey!
Wow.
And so Susan is going to come up here pretty quick here. And before she does that, I'm going to do a check-in. We do check-in after we're done here, so everybody can be safe and so forth. My week has been wonderful. A lot of gifts from a couple of friends here in West Palm Beach. That was so. I was very grateful and everything. But I guess here we go. I think that
You're supposed to invite me. Did you invite me?
I thought I invited you here. Oh, it's sent. So we're waiting on Susan, but she's coming up here soon. Okay. A thought came from A Course in Miracles. It was the phrase, miracle readiness. Does anybody know that phrase?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Chapter 1.
When you know miracle readiness, when your mindset is through miracle readiness, you have to know with conviction that the miracle is always there. The moment that you have any issues, that is when the miracle disappears. And so know that. Tonight, can you join me in having miracle readiness? Because it's going to happen to you, and it's going to come to me as well, and to our friends here in Facebook Live as well. Are you ready for that?
Yes.
Okay. And we're trying again. We're trying this new thing here.
You invited me?
I did invite
I didn't
you.
get mine either.
It should be. Are you guys on Facebook Live? First of all, did you get that?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay, we're working for this, and it worked today, and we're hoping that it works this evening. In the interim, however, I'm going to ask Reverend Susan Stone to come over here until we figure this out and give us the posture that we're using.
Sure.
And I think that you need that. And
Okay.
I'll switch.
We'll switch?
Yes,
Okay.
we'll switch here.
Well, that just didn't work. Okay.
No, but hey, you know what? And if I see you here, we'll see.
Okay, you'll add me?
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
How are you? So, couple of things I want to start off with. Could you give me my little fishbowl? Thank you.
Yeah.
So we had 10 submissions last week, and I need my book. And we, 10 people put in their favorite quote. So we added them into the drawing. Yule, yours is in here. Lori, yours is in here. Amber, did you do one?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So all you have to do is, can you give me my book?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
I didn't know
All
that
you have
was
to
possible.
do is put in your favorite your favorite Course of Miracles quote on Facebook comments, and you will enter a drawing to win the brand new complete edition. And this is almost a $50 book. It's an amazing book. So I really encourage you to put in your favorite quote, and we will add it to our drawing. And about 5 weeks from now, we will draw the lucky winner's name. So, great. Now we're going to start to go into our whole brain position. And tonight it is the left ankle on top. So cross your left ankle on top. Put your hands out in front and put your left wrist on top. Everybody got that? Roll your fingers down and interlace. And you can either relax in your lap, or you can curl up. I think this is yoga pose and or eagle and yoga pose. So just go ahead and put your tongue at the roof of your mouth and start to breathe in through your nose and close your eyes. What we're doing here is we're crossing the energy meridians that we have in our body so that we are emphasizing the crossover from the left brain to the right brain, which gets us into a relaxed alpha state, which is really good for your immune system. It's really good for learning and creativity. And it's also a place where you can access your subconscious mind. As adults, we usually hang out in beta, and we are only in alpha right before we go to sleep and in our dreams. So this is a really creative, intuitive, higher state of being. And by putting your tongue at the roof of your mouth, you are closing two main energy meridians. And doing that helps the energy of your breath stay inside your body. So you feel yourself just kind of relaxing even more. Good. And I'm just going to read a prayer. This day, my Father, Mother, God, what I spend with you as you have chosen all my days should be. And what I will experience is not of time at all. The joy that comes to me is not of days nor hours, for it comes from heaven to your child. This day will be your sweet reminder to remember you, your gracious calling to your holy child, the sign your grace has come to me, and that it is your will I be set free today. We spend this day together, you and I, and all the world joins with us in our song of thankfulness and joy to your child who gave salvation to us and who set us free. We are restored to peace and holiness. There is no room in us for fear today, for we have welcomed love into our hearts. So today's lesson is number 126. All that I give is given to myself. And please note that we are a 501c3 charity and we do accept donations. And I'm going to, with that, turn it over to Reverend Kevin and enjoy.
Thank you so much, Reverend Susan. You know, when we experienced this whole thing, because we today spent like 4 times on Facebook Live to make sure this works just fine. But what just occurred to me, you know, we really enjoy failure. Mm-hmm. That when we have failure, we meet it with congratulations and excitement. Because that's how we move forward, you know, because we are moving outside of the box every week. You'll discover new things every week, probably, because it's happening each. We're back. I don't know the other people were tagged or in it, whatever, but we're here, back. Okay, so we think that the behavior is important, but that our thoughts is not. So what I'm trying to convey to you is this, is that your thoughts are the most powerful device given to you. Okay? You can change the world with your thoughts. You can also have an effect upon your brothers and sisters as well. If I look at you, Carolyn, for instance, and say, oh, I don't like Carolyn. And by the way, Carolyn, I love you. Okay? You're beautiful. I love you. But if I thought, oh my God, I don't like Carolyn, in my mind, I think, oh, that's nothing. But it is something. I have just attacked my sister. Okay? Number 1. Number 2, every thought that I think manifests itself in some realm and on every level in my experience. So we have to be mindful, okay, of our thoughts. This is why A Course in Miracles says, you and I, we need to police our minds, okay? To be mindful of what we are allowing to occupy our minds every day. How are you doing, Susan?
Good.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that? You say, Kevin, I don't like, yeah, Carol.
This is not a question, but it's a sharing.
Yeah.
I have the seer's anointing.
You have a little louder so everybody can hear you.
I have the seer's anointing. After a near-death experience, God totally changed my life and gave me the gift of prophecy and the seer's anointing. And so I can see the effect that our words have and our thoughts have on people. And it's crushing. It's so hurtful. And I think now that there's this major awakening in this year, is such a powerful year. 2017 is a new beginning of a new era, a time of awakening, that we who care will love each other. We'll find something to love rather than hurt you and hurt us, and limit us so that God can use us more. And so I think you all will be able to see the influence of the words that you put out in your atmosphere, and trust your feelings. And if your feelings that it doesn't feel right, don't do it. You know, you get it.
Yeah, you get it, because you are not without a present help in times of need. You're not. So keep in mind that. Okay, number one. Number two, you further think that they can sin without affecting your perception of yourself, while you can judge their sin and yet remain apart from condemnation. One of my favorite statement from A Course in Miracles, and I used to have it in my bedroom, but I pretty much know it now. Every sin that I see within my brother, but keeps us both in hell. Okay, the moment, look, one of the lessons of A Course in Miracles says there is no sin. It has no consequence. Let me say that again. There is no sin. It has no consequence. And that is, by the way, one of my favorite lessons. Can that be my quote from...
Well, you already entered one.
I know I already entered one.
You can enter more than one, so yes. That
Exactly.
Your second favorite one.
Okay. So look, this is what the ego wants you to believe. That you are trapped within inside of a body, and that you are trapped in time and space, and you're not at all. In your reality is in the eternal timeless now. You do not move the corridors of time and space with other people. You are moving with other people in the eternal timeless now. Okay? So this is why A Course in Miracles says, look, the past is gone. It's over. And with its passing, the drive for vengeance is uprooted and will disappear. So that means, to whatever extent that you are allowing the past to be gone, okay, and the future not here, then sin becomes meaningless to you and me. Meaningless. Because the moment that you see sin within your brother or your sister, guess what? You have merely projected upon your brothers and sisters what is occurring within your own mind. That's it. You're in a competition and a war against your own self. And I think that I'm going to be sinful. I think that I'm full of crap. Oh, I think I'll just project it upon Sally or Bob instead to get rid of that sin. So you have to understand that really you're not really seeing outside of yourself. You are not looking within your own mind. That you have, you are entertaining and giving attention to a notion of sin within your own mind that must be uprooted because it is not true. You get this?
Yes.
Yes. Wow. I love this so much. You know, and this is one of the reasons why people experience healing quickly. Because when you understand the psychology of the ego, and really understand the replacement given to us by the Holy Spirit to really bring ourselves to a place of awareness. Because that's really all that we are seeking for, is to become awake. Okay? All right, let's go for the next two. Barbara, is that cool with you?
That's cool with me.
It's cool with me.
Hey, and folks, we'll go a little longer tonight because we've got a few hiccups.
Yeah, we had a few.
But that's okay.
It's 7:40, so.
Okay, all right. Two more paragraphs.
When you forgive a sin, there is no gain to you directly. You give charity to one unworthy, merely to point out that you are better on a higher plane than he whom you forgive. He has not earned your charitable tolerance, which you bestow on one unworthy of the gift, because his sin have lowered him beneath a true equality with you. He has no claim on your forgiveness. It holds out a gift to him, but hardly to yourself. Thus is unforgiveness basically unsound, a charitable whim, benevolent yet undeserved, a gift bestowed at times, at other times withheld. Unmerited, unholding it is just, nor is it fair that you should suffer when it is withheld. The sin which you forgive is not your own. Someone apart from you committed it, and if you then are gracious unto him by giving him what he does not deserve, the gift is no more yours than was his sin.
Okay, a few things here, and I'll get your questions and so forth. Where it says you give charity to one unworthy merely to point out that you are better. Do you all remember the first law of chaos? What?
I was just laughing at that.
Okay, do you all know the law of chaos? From the ego's law of chaos?
No.
Okay, good. That's why I'm here, probably. The first law of chaos from the ego's dynamic is simply this: that I'm different from you. For instance, Lori, okay, that your hierarchy of values is different than my hierarchy of values. And not only is it different from your values, my values are better than your values.
As are mine.
Yeah, exactly. See, you see this here, folks? I want to make sure you understand this. Because when you understand this, you undo the separation. Again, this is why A Course in Miracles says this is the first step that you take into the descent toward hell. That first step says, Francis, you're different from me. And not only are you different from me, but I'm better than you. My experience in life brings me more joy in life and happiness and stability than you. And because of that, you can then experience my attack. Okay, this is what this lesson is all about. So what A Course in Miracles says is, look, you want to uproot and get rid of that first step that says that person next to you is different from you, that you're better than they, okay? And then you can attack or whatever. And this is why we're talking about in this paragraph then, forgiveness. Because the ego's version of forgiveness is, look, if you're full of sin, I guess I'm so good. I'm better than you anyway, so I guess I'm going to pardon you. I'm going to forgive you.
I heard a saying once.
Yeah.
And it said, to forgive someone, you first must judge them.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's, for me, that was very powerful, because I realized, you know what, I think I'm going to forgive them. No, oh, wow. That is something, I just judged them about that I was better.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the truth is, and I'm the same, that I am that.
Exactly. And that is from A Course in Miracles.
I can't go any further.
And this is why God has never forgiven you, because God has never attacked you.
Right.
Because that is
And
why
he's right there.
forgiveness is
That's
necessary.
a big one there for, I think, the world.
Right, exactly. Okay, so again, to finish these 2 paragraphs then, we have to understand one thing, again from A Course in Miracles. You do not want to forgive your brothers and sisters for what they did, but for what they did not do. Now, I know this is a question in many, many minds, and I'm here to answer those questions.
Answer that question.
Okay, I will answer those questions. Why? Why? I don't have... Look, I don't
Before
forgive...
you've done it?
I'll give you an example. Look, I don't have to forgive you, not for what you did, but for what you did not do. Why? Because what is occurring within time and space, okay, is itself illusory. So it's already over and done with, number 1. So it's not real, number 1. Number 2, all that you're really dealing with is not directly with that person, but your interpretation of that person. So what you really need to forgive is not that person, but your interpretation of them. That's why,
Your perspective of them.
Exactly. Because that's all forgiveness is that it is a forgiveness of nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Let's say that with me. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Where are you right now? Home.
Yeah.
In reality. Very good, Jonica. We are at home in God, dreaming of exile. That's all we are doing. But where are you in this time and space continuum? Where are you right now in this realm? The answer that Jonica gave, by the way, was at home in God right now. But you're having a little dream here. A dream of separation, a little dream of attack, a little dream of war, okay? So the closest place for you to experience heaven is the portal and the window of the eternal timeless now. That's it. In this dream state, you want to experience God and to touch the universe in its totality? Be here now. Say that with me.
Be here.
Be here now. Be here now. A Course in Miracles calls it the holy instant.
The holy what?
The holy instant. And this is why I talked about the miracle readiness too. Because when you're in the eternal timeless now, my God, you don't have time and space to be bound by them at all. They are no longer a chain to you. So you're open to the gifts that has been given to you each and every day. You know, I talked to Susan earlier this week, and I said to her and the board as well, and I said, look into me, please. I said, A Course in Miracles says when 2 people agree that they really, all that they really want is the peace of God, if they agree to that, it's enough to change the world. And I said, Susan, and we were talking on, I'm going to cry right now.
I know, I'm getting teary-eyed.
I said, Susan, let's do this. And I said this to my husband as well, and Esteban Londano. And I said, guys, come on. This is why we have miracle readiness. Because we know the gift has already been given to us. Now we just need to enjoy it. That's all. We don't need to manufacture it. We don't have to orchestrate it. We don't have to move time and space, okay? Because the mountain that you want to change is your own mind. Your own mind. You all get this?
Yeah.
Any questions? How are you doing? I know we have some new students here, and I just want to make sure that we're good here with you.
Definitely, you're right on.
Aw. Thank you. Carol, are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Carol, are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, next 2. Let's do this.
Can I get some water?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll go get it for you.
Susan will get you some Carol. Thank you so
Anyone
much.
else?
The next two, Jonica. Did I miss anybody, by the way? Carol will come back to you if you want to read later. Go ahead, Jonica.
If this be true, forgiveness.
That's okay, little dog. My little dog. Or my dog. Not my dog, but Susan's dog. Go ahead.
If this be true, forgiveness has no grounds on which to rest dependably and sure. It is an eccentricity in which you sometimes choose to give indulgently an undeserved reprieve. Yet it remains your right to let the sinner not escape the justified repayment for his sin. Think you the Lord of heaven would allow the world's salvation to depend on this? Would not his care for you be small indeed if your salvation rested on a whim?
Okay, we're talking here. Go ahead.
You do not understand forgiveness. As you see it, it is but a check upon overt attack without requiring correction in your mind. It cannot give you peace as you practice it. It is not a means for your release from what you see in someone other than yourself. It has no power to restore your unity with Him to your awareness. It is not what God intended it to be for you.
You know, as I'm reading this, I remembered a time, I think maybe my mother maybe told me when I was a young boy, because we talked about forgiveness too. And she said, look, man, you have to truly forgive, you know, and she knew this every day. And she was a fundamentalist Christian, but she understood forgiveness and really understood all of us in the family to understand that you can't on the one say, oh, Jonica, I'll forgive you on the outside, but on the inside, I'm not doing that. You see, it's not an empty gesture anymore. If you have a grudge, if you have a grievance with your brothers and sisters, look, you're not forgiving at all. And in fact, you are asleep. We talked about this last week as well. You're in one of two states of mind. One is asleep, believing that you are in time and space and bound by its awful laws and rules and guidelines, okay? You have another dynamic as well that says, I'm awake, okay? This is why mystics call it, look, all is well, but the world is a mess. Okay, you know both things. One is asleep and in hell, and the other is awake and in heaven. Why? Because what St. Teresa said one time, look, may nothing disturb you. May nothing astonish you. Okay? Because who you are is holy. Okay? You cannot be assaulted by the world. The moment that you experience fear is the moment that you acknowledge its power to affect you and to hurt you. So you have to release the dogs, if you will, and bring back to your center, to your core, and understand who you really are. And this is why Helen Schuckman one time in asking Jesus, hey, why does this woman experience miracles all the time? And Jesus said, because that person knows who she is. Who she is. Who am I? Am I Kevin Rice? No, I'm not. Who are you? Not your name, not your title. You are the Christ, the Son and the daughter of the living God. That's who you are. And so I will approach you for that reason. That's why in the Academy of Spiritual Awakening here, and this is from the cameos, you know this as well, Jonica, as well, that we always use these words in our exchange with another person. That reflects kindness, healing, graciousness, respect, courteous, and always authenticity. Those things, and I know that our board does this, we want to carry this mentality with us all the time because it flows from your own recognition of who you are. If you know that you are the Christ, you're not going to attack another person. You're not going to engage in a conversation that in any way is going to attack them, judge them, shame them in any way, shape, or form. That you are going to instead accept all things as they are in this moment. Because the dream that you are experiencing here is either a result of your creation of miracles or as a result of your miscreation in your minds. Do you see the difference here? Creation, that's through God. Miscreation is through your egoic mind, which is not even true. Okay? If you agree with this, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good. Okay, I don't want to be too ancillary. Okay, next two paragraphs here. Who would like to read? Lori? Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, number 7, right?
Yeah.
Not having given him the gift he asks of you, you cannot recognize his gifts and think he has not given them to you. Yet would he ask you for a gift unless it was for you? Could he be satisfied with empty gestures and evaluate such pretty gifts as worthy of his Son? Salvation is a better gift than this, and true forgiveness, as the means by which it is attained, must heal the mind that gives. For giving is receiving. What remains as unreceived has not been given, but what has been given must have been received. Today we try to understand the truth that giver and receiver are the same. You will need help to make this meaningful because it is so alien to the thoughts to which you are accustomed. But the help you need is here. Give him your faith today and ask him that he share your practicing in truth today. And if you only catch a tiny glimpse of the release which lies in the idea we practice for today, this is a day of glory for the world.
Okay, wow. A couple of things here. First, and by the way, you say, Kevin, why did you choose this lesson? Literally, I said, Jesus, what lesson would you have us do today? And boom, opened up randomly picked up this lesson, and this was the lesson that came up. So that's why we're talking about this, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because this lesson, this paragraph that we just talked about here, is referring to our ability to have assistance from Jesus. Okay? Here we go. But the help you need is there. Is there. I'll give you an example. Look, I do this every day. I journaled before I came here tonight and said, Jesus, I turn this class over to you. I acknowledge your presence. I acknowledge holiness in our experience. I acknowledge the joy and the bliss of communing with you and our brothers and sisters. It's okay. Everything is holy. No worries.
Yeah.
So I do this every day. I'm in a communion, okay? So I went to Target today, and then Brand Smart as well. They did not have the tripod because I wanted a tripod that matched Susan's, and it was less intrusive too. but because we want to communicate to a lot of people too. You know, we want to extend the world. Oh, there it is. There's the other one that, yeah, it's right there. So I went to 2 and then it wasn't there. And I'm like, oh my God. So I went to Walmart there and I had this experience with the employees there, and sometimes it can be, you know, interesting. So I went to like 3 different people. And I said, "Man, this is here," and it said it's here somewhere, and I it's not here. Yeah, it's not. It's not here. I said, "Really?" And then I said, "Well, let me just ask another person just in case." Yeah, no, it's not here. And I'm like, okay, this is the 3rd store. And so I just stopped. I'm not there to attack anybody. So I said, okay, Jesus, if you can help me here, I would really appreciate it. Because I really have done a lot just to get this small tripod for my holy sister. And then that voice said, go around the aisle. Yeah. And I did. And there was only one right there. And I picked it up and I was like, guys, what? Get there. You cannot tell me there's no gift here. There's a gift here. It's right here. And I was so pleased. You know, this is why we call it an ordinary miracle. Mm-hmm. Okay? It's not big. Okay? Mm-hmm. But it's a constant, persistent asking for our source to guide us. Tell me, what would I have to say here? What would you have me do in this experience, and so forth? The lesson that we did last week. Does anybody have any questions or comments or experiences you want to relay to us? Barbara, how you doing? You're awful quiet.
No, I'm doing good.
Okay. Nobody. You're just in a nice quietness and.
No, you talk about the miracle, and I like the miracle of little things, and there are no little things because they're little and big are all the same. But you know, we give dimension and whatnot, and every day something, and you, like you say, you go and there's only one. Where it was not there before. But what I love is when I go and I look and it's not there. And I ask and turn around and then
there it is.
Yeah. I know, it happens every day.
Yeah.
And I just told Susan this morning, I said, man, she goes, are you happy? I said, man, I'm very happy. Why? A lot of miracles almost nearly every day. And I said, you experience that as well. And that is what we were talking about when we mentioned the words miracle readiness. Let's say those words again. Miracle readiness. Will you remember that words this week? Yeah, Carol.
What's so funny is that I was writing a lot today on Facebook and sharing, and because God asked me a few years ago. I'm totally and completely psychic. I am an astrologer. And God asked me to be a bridge of teaching metaphysical people God. Because sometimes people think because they're psychic, they're great. All that in a bag of chips, and it's all about God, you know. So tonight, I was supposed to go to a meeting. A person by the name of Kevin is having a meeting. And all of a sudden, I got you coming in, giving me this address, and Susan we're going to get together on Saturday. And I wound up here. I'm supposed to be together at Kevin's meeting. But this is a meeting I'm really supposed to be at. It's awesome.
It's nice to have a psychic around us too, right? Yes, absolutely.
That's the same way the group was for me.
Just let me finish.
Yeah,
I studied the Bible so much that I've never entered into the Course of Miracles. I respect it. But it's confusing to me to try to do all that study when I've spent so many years in the Bible. But it's so awakening, especially with Kevin. I've experienced his teaching for so many years because I was really linked with Kevin and Chris at Unity, the Palm Beaches, when it was that big, wonderful, glorious place we all went to.
It still is, Carol.
Yeah, is it?
Yes.
Just change buildings.
Yeah, they just changed the buildings.
Still glory.
And it's a wonderful minister, Taylor Stevens is
Taylor, I
wonderful.
like Taylor a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. You know, so to understand the concept of the Course of Miracle, as you teach it, because you've been in it for so many years, you really know it.
Yeah.
It's very rewarding because it's fun to learn from a teacher who really knows what they're doing and has enthusiasm and brings everybody in the group. Yay.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here, Carol.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait
Look-
till the break. She's a very interesting lady.
We're gonna engage and check in and so forth, and have some cookies and whatever else we have on the table.
Cool.
After how are we doing on time here?
We are at 8:03.
Okay, we started at 5 after, I believe, but then we were interrupted by something on Facebook. So let's read. Where are we? Where are we
Nine.
now?
Nine.
9. Okay. Somebody 9, 10, and 11, and then we'll take a little break. And okay, thank you, Yul. And then we'll take a break, and then go off of Facebook Live, and have some time to commune and break bread. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, because I love you all so much, and I really do. And of course, I'm going to give you all a book, as I promised, and a bracelet as well. So thank you, Yul. Go ahead.
Right. Give 15 minutes twice today to the attempt to understand today's idea. It is the thought by which forgiveness takes its proper place in your priorities. It is the thought that will release your mind from every bar to what forgiveness means and let you realize its worth to you. In silence, close your eyes upon the world that does not understand forgiveness and seek sanctuary in the quiet place where thoughts are changed and false beliefs laid by. Repeat today's idea and ask for help in understanding what it really means. Be willing to be taught. Be glad to hear the voice of truth and healing speak to you, and you will understand the words he speaks, to recognize he speaks your words to you. As often as you can, remind yourself you have a goal today, an aim which makes this day of special value to yourself and all your brothers. Do not let your mind forget this goal for long, but tell yourself, all that I give is given to myself. The help I need to learn that is true is with me now, and I will trust in him. Then spend a quiet moment opening your mind to his correction and his love. And what you hear of him you will believe, for what he gives will be received by you.
Okay. Wow, I just journaled. I call it a journaling, but it really isn't a journal. It's more like a prayer. But I said today, thank you so much for the miracles each and every day. And thank you for the evidence that you have given me that it is true. Because it happens every day. So you are given the evidence. The moment that you let go of the past and experience yourself as extreme forgiveness of everything. One of the lessons in the Course in Miracles says, I loose the world from all I thought it was and accept my true identity instead. And by the way, Carol, Helen Schuckman was extremely psychic as well.
Cool.
Yeah, she was. And she was embarrassed by it at first, and Jesus, don't be embarrassed by your psychic, I was going to
Psychotic.
psychic ability, because this is part of the gift that has been given to you. So about 2 paragraphs ago, we talked about the holiness of your mind. And we, again, have to police our minds by understanding, look, your minds are so holy to not to entertain anymore those little small thoughts from the ego that brings you into the past and into the future. We are invited by Jesus and the Holy Spirit to sink into the stillness. Okay? and understand that when you understand, and I understand, that holiness, okay? And when you understand experientially, understand that you are holy, okay, and that your brothers and your sister is holy as well, then you will know. You will know. You know, Reverend, you talked about Reverend Chris Jackson, and I was at Unity on the Bay 2 Sundays ago, I think. 3 weeks ago. And he said, how do you experience what we're talking about this evening? All that I give is I give to myself. Okay. So, and I said to Chris, how did you change those 2 brain surgeries you went through? How did you quickly recover? And my response to him, and I will say it to you as well, the moment that you see sin, the moment that you see darkness within your brothers and sisters, you're asleep, okay, and that sickness is going to perpetuate within your experience. The moment that you thought was bad and wrong and sinful, when you change your perception of it to a holy experience, a holy instant, boom, that's when the miracle occurs. Why? Because you have removed the separation between yourself and the world. That's it. That is the foundation of A Course in Miracles. Every single day. Now you say to me, and a lot of people, you know, have not gone through the text or the lessons of A Course in Miracles, or the Manual for Teachers, or the cameos, or anything. And they want to move, and they can use any, by the way, any path that they want to. Taoism, Buddhism, anyone is just fine. But what is necessary for you and me is to have some discipline, okay? Look, if I don't have this lesson every day as an anchor to move me through life happily and with joy, I don't know how I would live this world, because this curriculum has been given us from outside of time and space into time and space to say, hey, wake the hell up. And here is a direction of how to do that. Okay? All right, I know I'm a little loud.
Works.
Huh?
And it works.
Oh my
I find
God.
myself, if I find myself in a spin, and I just, Holy Spirit, help me to see this differently. And just when I can really let go of what the spin is and just receive the help that I have just asked for, the experience alone, without words, is a miracle.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
The experience of peace.
Yeah, Carol. And by the way, I did not mean to offend you. I looked after the 2 brain surgeries. I lost a lot of people and faces and everything, so I'm having to reconnect to the people. So I love you. Of course, I remember you now. Okay, it's been what, 17 years. So yeah.
Please, that was your reality.
Yeah.
I have a question. It's a little bit dilemma. It relates to as a teacher, and bringing the presence of God through Jesus to people.
Yeah.
I have people who are Hindu or Buddha and Muslim, and so many times you read in the Bible, the way to God is only through Jesus.
Right.
What do we say?
Okay. First of all, look, there's nobody that likes the Bible as much as the Bible as me. Okay. Look, I probably read it like, I would say 15 times when I was just from like 15 to like 21. So I was like, I need something else, and I asked for something else, and that's where A Course in Miracles appeared. Now, keep in mind, first of all, Jesus himself, I really don't believe for 1 second that Jesus is the only way to an awareness, okay? Now, look.
Only way to God?
Yeah, it's what unity refers to as the way shower. And Jesus is the way shower.
Absolutely.
And points the way. it's what the Buddhists say as well. Look, if all you are doing is pointing at the moon, you're going to miss the finger, right? So, I honor with respect and courtesy of all paths to God. I think that A Course in Miracles will accelerate the journey more than other paths. I don't want to be egoic there, but it does. It's very quick in terms of bringing awareness to it. My personal relationship with Jesus is powerful, okay? I have it. I believe in Jesus. I'm in communication with Jesus. But I do not agree with, and I don't believe that necessarily the written words in the Bible is necessarily sacrosanct, that it is sacred, okay? You chew up the meat and you spit out the bones. You accept what works for you and you release what does not work for you. And that's the way I do with A Course in Miracles as well. I don't believe it to be 100% sacred and infallible at all. I mean, I just talked to Robert Perry, a couple of weeks, and he said to me, look, man, there are very alarming things within A Course in Miracles, and it does take, from time to time, a moment to accept it 100%. Does that make sense,
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Because your experience with the new course as well is the same as mine. It from time to time, you have to go, whoa!
Right.
And then you have to sit with it, yeah.
And what I do is, and what it talks about it in here is, when I'm reading, if there's something that does not, if I don't believe it, or if it doesn't do anything right, I don't argue with it. I keep on reading.
Yeah.
Because what I need to know, what Jesus wants me to know in that moment while I'm reading, that will jump out at me and will come to me,
Yeah.
and I'll know it with every cell of my body when I'm reading it. That's
Oh, yeah.
and the other things just weren't for me at that time. And then another time I'll read it, I could read that same thing, and that could be really, awakening at that time for me when before it wasn't. So
Right.
it's different.
Like, it's like you
times
don't see
when
it
you're
until
reading
it's
it.
time for you to know
For
it.
its time.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
But also, it brings us back to the separation. As long as we say Jesus, Buddha, we are dealing with the separation.
Yep.
That spirit that
Very
we know
good
as
point,
Jesus,
That is
Barbara.
also
point.
Buddha,
Yeah,
that
that is
spirit,
Yeah.
whatever
We
name
are
it came
all.
through, is that same spirit, Son of God spirit.
Yeah.
It's about the message, not the messenger.
We just know
Yeah.
by different names.
I don't want to be presumptuous when I mentioned that I felt like from time to time A Course in Miracles was accelerating my experience.
And it was.
Okay.
It was. It was.
I mean, because look, man, I have gone every pathway that I could possibly go through, And this one, man, came to me because I was on, and I'll end it here with this, by saying I was in Kansas City. I was 21. I just left Jimmy Swaggart, who went through the fall, and I was by myself at 6 a.m. in the morning, and I said, I'm done, God. I'm done. I'm not experiencing abundance. I'm not experiencing the peace of God at all. And so I'm leaving all of this. And I left my ministry, the TV shows, everything. And I said, if you want me to experience the love and the light of God, then you are going to have to show it to me. And then I went home and looked for a psychiatrist at my home in the phone book, when we had phone books back then. And I just randomly picked a guy. His name is Dr. James Myers. And I went to him, and he said, I talked to him for about an hour, and afterwards he said, Kevin, I've never done this ever to one of my clients, but I'm saying this to you. And he gave me A Course in Miracles.
Really?
Yes.
See?
And it changed the direction of my life. Now,
And
folks,
God said, let me show you.
yeah, exactly.
You asked.
Exactly. So I want to I want to have some time with my brothers and sisters here, and so I want to thank you so much for joining us, folks. And if I missed anything, I'll do it personally at my home and make sure if you missed anything that we went through the lesson, okay? I'm not guilty either. We do experience failure from time to time, and we congratulate ourselves for doing it. So, if no one has told you that they love you, allow me to be the first. I love you so much, and you are pure light. And say hello to everybody, folks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.